Welcome back to Mind Paradox. Imagine spending your entire life trying to fit in, seeking approval, and shaping yourself according to others' expectations. You fear judgment, believing your worth is measured by how others perceive you. But what if caring too much is holding you back? What if true happiness, confidence, and success lie not in control, but in letting go? Michel de Montaigne, a thinker centuries ahead of his time, explored this paradox deeply. His philosophy guides us to inner freedom, self-acceptance, and living without unnecessary burdens. He challenged our beliefs about identity, success, and societal pressures. By the end of this journey, you'll understand why the moment you stop caring about external validation, everything in your life starts falling into place. Think about it. How much stress and frustration come from trying to meet expectations that aren't even yours? How often do you hold back because you're afraid of being judged? How much energy is spent worrying about things that have little meaning in the grand scheme of life? Montaigne's philosophy reveals a simple yet powerful truth. The more we let go of external pressures, the more we align with our authentic selves. He believed life is unpredictable. Perfection is an illusion, and self-acceptance is the highest form of wisdom. But most people misunderstand this. Not caring doesn't mean being indifferent, lazy, or unmotivated. It doesn't mean withdrawing from life or ignoring responsibilities. It means freeing yourself from the constant need for approval, the fear of rejection, and the exhausting habit of overanalyzing every action. It means living on your own terms, being present, and understanding you don't have to prove anything to anyone. Montaigne observed that people are often prisoners of their own minds, caught in endless cycles of worry, self-doubt, and insecurity. He questioned why we let others' opinions shape our decisions, why we cling to control when life is uncertain, why we chase an idea of success that isn't our own, and most importantly, what would happen if we simply stopped caring about these things? When you stop caring about being perfect, you embrace your flaws. When you stop caring about external validation, you start living for yourself. When you just stop trying to control everything, you make space for life to unfold naturally. Here's the paradox. The less you care about proving yourself, the more powerful you become. Think about confident, charismatic people. Are they constantly seeking approval, over-explaining, and trying to be liked? Or do they seem at ease, unbothered by small worries, and unapologetically themselves? Montaigne understood this secret long before modern psychology confirmed it. People are drawn to authenticity. When you stop seeking validation, embrace imperfections, and trust yourself, you naturally become more attractive, not just socially, but in every aspect of life. The moment you detach from the fear of failure or judgment, you gain something even more valuable: freedom. The freedom to take risks without overthinking, to express yourself without hesitation, to simply exist without constantly measuring your worth by external standards. What's truly fascinating is that once you let go of unnecessary worries, not only do you find peace, but things in your life actually start to improve. Relationships become more genuine, opportunities come naturally, and decisions become easier because they're based on what you truly want, not what you think you should want. This is the essence of Montaigne's philosophy. He believed most of our suffering comes from resisting reality, from trying to force life into a mold that doesn't fit. But when you release that resistance, everything begins to align. How many times have you hesitated to speak your mind because you were afraid of what others would think? How often do you replay conversations in your head, worrying about how you were perceived? How much of your life has been shaped by expectations that were never truly yours? Montaigne invites us to step away from these self-imposed limitations, to embrace uncertainty, accept imperfection, and stop allowing fear to dictate our choices. This is just the beginning. As we dive deeper, we'll uncover practical ways to apply this mindset, helping you break free from mental barriers, make decisions with confidence, and experience the freedom that comes from letting go. Montaigne's philosophy is not just an abstract idea. It's a practical guide to transforming how you experience life. What happens when you truly embrace this mindset? What changes when you stop chasing approval, worrying about every possible outcome, and allowing fear to dictate your actions? Imagine waking up and realizing most of the pressures weighing you down were never real. The rules, expectations, and fears keeping you stuck were illusions created by society, conditioning, in your own mind. Montaigne understood that humans are naturally anxious, constantly overthinking, trying to predict the future, and struggling against the unknown. But what if the key to happiness isn't solving every problem, but surrendering to the fact that some things are simply out of our control? One of Montaigne's most powerful lessons is, the world will never fully understand you, and that is perfectly okay. How often do we waste energy trying to explain ourselves, justify our choices, or prove our worth to people who may never truly see us? We hold back true opinions to avoid conflict, suppress desires to fit in, and constantly look outside ourselves for validation when, in reality, the only approval that truly matters is our own. Montaigne believed much of our suffering comes from caring too much about things that don't serve us. He observed how people tie themselves in knots over petty concerns, holding on to grudges, fears, and insecurities that ultimately add no value to their lives. Yet when you step back, most of these worries are insignificant. Have you ever noticed that the moment you stop obsessing over a problem, a solution naturally appears? Or that when you stop chasing someone's attention, they suddenly become more interested? This is no coincidence. It's a reflection of a deeper truth. When you let go, life flows. The problem is, most people resist this idea. They believe if they stop caring, they'll lose motivation, that letting go means giving up. But this is a misunderstanding. Not caring does not mean apathy or laziness. It means shifting your focus to what truly matters and freeing yourself from the weight of unnecessary burdens. Montaigne encouraged us to embrace imperfection, not just in ourselves, but in the world. He understood that striving for absolute control is an exhausting, never-ending battle. Life is unpredictable, and no matter how much we plan or manipulate outcomes, there will always be things beyond our reach. So why not surrender to this truth? Why not accept that mistakes, failures, and uncertainties are simply part of existence? Consider how much lighter you'd feel if you stopped trying to control every detail, stopped overanalyzing every decision, and stopped fearing failure, instead seeing it as just another step in your journey. Montaigne reminds us that every great thinker, leader, and artist has faced failure, rejection, and misunderstanding. Yet they didn't allow these things to define them. They moved forward, unbothered by others' opinions, because they understood that true success isn't found in external validation. It's found in living authentically. When you adopt this mindset, people begin to notice. You become more confident, magnetic, and in control of your own life. Not because you're forcing anything, but because you're no longer wasting energy on things that don't serve you. Have you ever wondered why some people seem effortlessly successful while others struggle despite working tirelessly? The difference isn't always talent or hard work, it's mindset. Those who thrive understand that detachment from unnecessary worries allows them to focus on what truly matters. Montaigne's wisdom teaches us that the more we release, the more we gain. When we stop fearing failure, we take more risks. When we stop seeking approval, we become more authentic. When we stop trying to control everything, we allow space for unexpected opportunities to arise. This is why the philosophy of not caring, when applied correctly, is not about giving up, but about gaining freedom. It's about choosing where to direct your energy, focusing only on what brings meaning, and refusing to be held back by distractions that have no real value to your life. Think about your own life. How much stress comes from worrying about what others think? How many times have you hesitated to pursue something you wanted because you were afraid of judgment? How often do you replay past mistakes as if punishing yourself will change them? Montaigne's approach liberates us from these mental chains. He reminds us that the past is gone, the future is uncertain, and the only thing we truly own is the present moment. When you fully embrace this truth, everything begins to shift. There's a strange paradox in life. The moment you stop needing something, it often comes to you effortlessly. When you stop chasing approval, people respect you more. When you stop fearing failure, opportunities arise. And when you stop trying to control everything, life begins to flow in ways you never expected. This is one of the most profound lessons in Montaigne's philosophy. Detachment is not a form of escape. It is a path to deeper fulfillment. By letting go of the need to force outcomes, you open yourself to the natural rhythm of life, experiencing a sense of peace, power, and connection. If detachment is so powerful, why do most people struggle to embrace it? The answer is simple: fear of the unknown, fear of failure, fear of what might happen if we stop micromanaging every aspect of our lives. Society has conditioned us to believe that if we loosen our grip, everything will fall apart. But the truth is, when you stop caring about the things that don't truly matter, everything falls into place. Montaigne's philosophy is not about recklessness, it is about wisdom. He teaches us that by letting go of unnecessary worries, we gain clarity. By releasing control, we gain freedom. And by embracing uncertainty, we gain a life of deeper meaning and fulfillment. Think about the greatest moments of your life. Were they planned down to the last detail, or did they happen spontaneously when you least expected them? Some of the most beautiful things in life cannot be forced. Love, inspiration, creativity, and even success. They often come when you stop chasing them, when you create space for them to appear naturally. Consider the artist who no longer worries about whether their work will be accepted by the world, and as a result, creates something truly extraordinary. The entrepreneur who stops fearing failure, takes bold risks, and ends up changing an entire industry. The person who stops searching desperately for love, and in that space of self-acceptance, meets the right person effortlessly. This is the paradox of life. What you hold on to too tightly often slips away, but what you release often comes back to you in greater ways than you imagine. Montaigne reminds us that life is not meant to be a struggle. Yes, there will be challenges, setbacks, and uncertainties, but fighting against them, resisting them, and obsessing over them only adds to our suffering. Instead, he encourages us to flow with life, to accept its imperfections, to laugh at its absurdities, and to find joy even in the chaos. Here is the ultimate realization. You do not need to control everything to be happy. You do not need to prove anything to anyone. You do not need to fear uncertainty, because life itself is uncertain, and that is what makes it beautiful. When you stop caring about external validation, you become truly confident. When you stop fearing failure, you become unstoppable. When you stop trying to control every little detail, you allow space for magic to happen. And that is what Montaigne understood centuries ago. Wisdom is not in trying to conquer life, but in learning to dance with it. So as you move forward, ask yourself, what can you let go of today? What unnecessary weight have you been carrying that no longer serves you? And what would your life look like if you simply trusted that things will fall into place? The moment you stop caring about the wrong things, the right things find their way to you. And that is the true power of Montaigne's philosophy. If you found value in today's exploration of Michel de Montaigne's philosophy, don't forget to hit that like button and share your thoughts in the comments below. What resonates with you about stopping the need for validation? And if you want to dive deeper into topics that inspire personal growth and self-discovery, make sure to subscribe to Mind Paradox and turn on notifications so you never miss an update. Remember, when you stop caring, everything truly can fall into place.